this cycle. As you just heard, this meeting is being recorded. Okay, so this is the fourth and final assembly of this cycle, and it's great to see you all. It's a hybrid session, so we've got people online and we've got people here face to face. Okay. Okay, so for those of you who don't know me, my name's Saeed. I'm the area manager, so I look after the plaster in the Green Street neighbourhood. I've got a team here, which I think they're all busy outside. So we've got Jobrul. You all know Jobrul? Jobrul's the senior officer and has done a lot of work ensuring that you're communicated to and making sure that you all come to the assembly. Where is everybody else? Yeah. So what happened a little bit earlier is not all the refreshments turned up, so we had to run to the shop, and I've got the team in the kitchen cutting sandwiches, making teas and coffee. So you know, very versatile and a very multitask team. Okay. So we're just going to move on to the next slide. And just a bit of a caveat, because things are all technological, things are online, things are hybrid, things can go wrong. So I apologise in advance. So what I'll try to do, where we have those little gaps, I'm going to try and crack a few jokes. So you must laugh. Yeah. Otherwise, at the front, I'll get very, very disappointed. Okay. So as we're trying to get the presentation up, I'm just going to go around the room. Who's been to these assemblies before? If you can raise your hands. I can see Councillor Lewis at the back there. He's jumping up. Yes, I've been here. Fantastic. Who's been to all four of the assemblies? Come on, I need to see double hand. Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. We've got Councillor Larissa and Tariq out there. Brilliant. So that's amazing. Okay. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be great if when people are speaking, if you can all just listen to the people who are speaking, if that's okay, because there's lots of background noise. We've got residents and participants online. Okay, I've got a couple of other staff members I'd just like to introduce you. Andrew. And Fatima. Right, this actually sounds like a bit of a party going on here. And we've got new volunteers outside. We've got Mary. Hi, Mary. Fantastic. So that's your neighbourhood team today. So if there's any questions or queries or you need any support, please do point yourself to my colleagues out there. Jobrul's got the mic, so there are some questions that we'll be asking a little bit later on. So please do raise your hands and we'll get the mic out to you. So in terms of the cycle for today, so we're going to go through some welcoming. We're going to introduce you to your councillors. We've got our CMT, which is Corporate Management Lead, Natalie, who's joined us online. And I'd just like to kind of say thank you to Chris and Amelie and Irina, who's supporting us through the BSL today.
Thank you.
So the main things for today, it's very much about listening and hearing to the projects that are being delivered. And we're going to talk to you about the next cycle and what happens next. Okay? So there's lots of talking, but we have got a number of interactive exercises that are going on. As I mentioned before, it's a hybrid session, so things are online. We are recording online. So as I think Amelie's mentioned before, please do turn your cameras off if you do not wish to be recorded, but we would love to see you. Okay. Fire exits, really important. It's a packed room. You can see it's very difficult to move around. So in the event of an emergency, I need you all to just listen to this. In the event of emergency, staff members will put their high-vis jackets and they'll lead you out to the muster point, which is outside by the bus stop. So fingers crossed nothing will happen, but please do be mindful of that. In terms of photography, we would love to take photographs to put on social media, to promote and publicize this. So if there's anybody who does not wish to have their photo taken, please do raise your hands. Okay, so we've got one down here, guys. That's fantastic. So you've all given us permission to share your photographs. Brilliant. Thank you very much. We have a BSL interpreter, Irene, as I mentioned earlier. So if you do need any support, please do let us know. Let the room team know. Okay, so in terms of the format for today, we're going to be hearing from the project leads. We're going to ask you to give us some feedback on how you've actually found the assembly cycle and actually how we can actually improve the cycle going forward. if you can all just have a look on the left here. On the left here, we've got this reflections wall. And on your tables, you've got some post-it notes. So what we would love you to do at the end of the assembly, if you've got any thoughts, any ideas, any comments, we only take positive comments, not really. Any thoughts, ideas, or comments, please put them down and place them on the reflection wall. Can I get that commitment from each and every one of you just to make a note for us before you leave? Yeah. Fantastic. Thank you very much for that. Okay. Okay, as I mentioned earlier, we've got each neighbourhood has a corporate management team leader. We're really fortunate enough to have Natalie, who is the lead for this particular area. Okay, Natalie has a wide portfolio, but oversees this assembly. Natalie has recently visited the Green Street neighbourhood and met a number of project leads, and in fact, it's absolutely amazing. So Natalie, I would like to introduce you to the assembly. If you'd like to say a few words, please.
Thank you so much, and thank you everyone for the warm welcome. I'm really sorry not to be there in person. I'm unfortunately slightly at the risk of train strikes, so I haven't been able to travel in today. But firstly, just to say thank you for all your time, and also to say thank you again to all the team, particularly to Syed for the introduction. You'll know that community assemblies are just an incredibly important part of what we're trying to do as a council in terms of transforming Newham. They're really an important part of how we're delivering against our manifesto commitment to deliver on a people-powered Newham. And I know that your ideas, your projects are really having transformative impact on how we as a council are thinking about all we do, about how we improve service delivery and how we can do more to meet our strategic objectives of building a fairer Newham. So I'm really grateful for your time. I'm really looking forward to hearing more of your ideas. And as I had said, the feedback that you share with us today is really valuable. So please don't hold back. Obviously, ideally, more positive would be gratefully received, but we'll take everything. And thank you so much for your time. I'm looking forward to this evening and also in due course to meeting more of you as I get out and about. Thanks again.
Thank you very much. Actually, that was quite a muted clap.
Thank you.
How do you feel now, Natalie? You feel good? Great. Okay. So, as I mentioned earlier, there's quite a few introductions to do. We've got your working group. Your working group are here. They've been instrumental in the delivery and the support of these community assembly programs. So if you could just raise your hands, our working group members.
Hi, everyone.
Okay, we're going to do some introduction to your working group members in just a little while. So each neighbourhood has ward councillors, and a number of our ward councillors are actually on the working group. And I know Councillor Lewis is there, Councillor Larissa, Councillor Muzibul. Any other councillors? Got 3 councillors here at the moment, and online. I must not forget, and apologies. I'm trying to remember people who are online as well. So we've got, I believe, Councillor Harbinder online and Councillor Mirage as well. So welcome, councillors. I would like to just invite a couple of councillors to come to the front and just say a few words, if that's okay. Or you can actually stay there if you like. If it's going to be difficult to get through, you can pass the mic over.
Shall I come round to you? I'll go around the back. Okay, guys,
Thanks so much for coming out today. It really does mean a lot. Community assemblies have been around for a little bit of time. Before I was a councillor, I became a councillor last year. I sat on a community assembly group, and we had so many good ideas of how we could use this money to support our neighbourhood, to make Green Street a better place. Some people who are going to talk today are going to tell you about how we've been using that money, how they've used that money to create these incredible projects. And we're starting to see the fruits of those projects coming together. We're starting to see things like a community safety program coming together. We're starting to see an anti-addiction or anti-drugs program coming together. We're starting to see physical things coming together. The parklets on Green Street are the little things by little They are funded with community assembly money. And I think what will, as well as a whole bunch of other things, and I think what's really exciting for me and what I hope is really exciting for you is seeing how these things spring up and also seeing that they've come from people who live here. So they're not top down. They're not the council telling you guys what you want. It's you guys telling us what I want, what you want, and then doing it anyway. And that's really exciting. Another good thing to say about this place and these community assemblies is that you make pretty good friends through them. I can see a few of them in the room. Meeting people like Shiraz, meeting people like Celia, meeting people even like Saeed, who's like our dad. and looks not because he's older than us, but because he looks after us all the time. It's been a great experience. So I would highly commend you if you get an opportunity to join the working group. But I'd also highly commend you and highly recommend that you throw in your ideas. You talk about what kind of things you want from this money. You talk about what kind of things you can do to make your neighbourhoods better, because that's what's at the heart of this. So I'll stop boring you. Thanks very much, and I'll pass this back over.
Thank you very much. I'm the councillor for the Green East. Yeah, so this area, and I'd like to thank you for you all actually, because you are the hero of our community. Because as he mentioned all of the sides, but I just want to say about you guys, because it's very hard to get our residents involved with this kind of community work. You sacrifice your time and effort to do the community work for your local residents. So you are the hero of our communities, and also our staff. They're doing a wonderful job. So I am just looking forward to see the final product from you guys, or how it's going to be implemented. Thank you very much for coming here.
Thank you.
Great, thank you very much. Councillor, oh, okay, we've got Councillor Rissa.
Yeah. As a real lady, not as a councillor, I let men say a few words first. And now, yes, I will, yeah. I think that men, yeah, first, when it's time to speak or to do some hard work, men come first, and after just, I will say a few words, yeah. It's so nice to see all of you, because I've been here, I visited 4 assemblies, and to see many of you coming here and to see all of you being involved, it's so good. We have a very good community. Well done. Thank you so much for coming and for the projects. Yes, thank you.
Great, thank you very much, Councillor. I would like to just ask anybody online, any of our councillors online, if they would like to say a few words. Emily, do you have anybody online?
We do. We have 2 councillors online.
Any of our councillors would like to say a few words at all, or we're okay? Okay, I think Councillor Harvinder's come on with his camera, so.
Yeah,
Hi,
just to say thank you for coming along this evening. It just shows that how the community can build bridges between ourselves, and more importantly, how we can deliver the projects. So thank you for everyone coming along.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, councillors. I just want to make sure I keep everybody who's online involved in the whole process. So we're now going to just flip back onto the presentation slides. Okay, so has anybody seen this cycle before? If those of you have been into the 4 assemblies, you would have seen every single one of these. So what I'm going to do, just for the people who haven't seen it before, just go through. This is the annual cycle for the community assemblies. So in May of last year, you see those lovely photographs? Yeah, see if you can spot yourselves. This is where we all came together and talked about the priorities and talked about different ideas. From May through to July, groups came forward and proposed their ideas and spoke to the group to try and promote their projects for voting. At that time, your working group members received applications and went through the shortlisting process. The projects were announced, and then in November, if you can all remember, November was more of a marketplace where the community groups and the projects came to the assembly and started to talk about their projects, trying to get you all involved and showcasing what's actually been happening. And we are here today. So I think you all got to give yourself a round of applause for completing this journey. So really well done. So that's fantastic. Okay, so if I flip on to the last one, oh, I'm gonna take it off. Right, there's a question. Okay, I'm gonna ask this question first of all to those online. We had 3 priorities for the Green Street neighbourhood. Does anybody know at least one of those priorities? You can take yourself off mute. I'll give you about 5 seconds. I'm not going to ask staff members. Any of the residents?
Cleaner environment.
Cleaner environment. Oh, Denise, thank you very much. Hi, Denise. Yeah, great, fantastic. So cleaner environment. We've got 2 more.
Green parks and spaces.
Was that Sarifa?
Syra.
Syra. Hi, Syra.
Hello.
Hi, Syra. Okay, that's great. That's enough from online. And in the room, the last priority. And go on, say it again. Both you can say it together. Community safety. Fantastic. So you have all been listening. You all have. I think Jojo's waving me at the back there. Hi, Jojo. I'm going to take that one. Okay, so it's fantastic. So the 3 priorities were community safety, a cleaner environment, and parks and green spaces. Okay, so each of the projects that were voted on had to align themselves to one of these priorities. Okay, so this is why, so for example, we've got Rosina's project. It was around crime and antisocial behavior. That linked into one of the key priorities. These were the projects. Right, it looks like this room is getting very packed. It's lucky we have lots of chairs outside. What we do have an overflow room, which my colleagues will show you if the room gets a little bit too busy. So these were the 7 priority projects. Hello, sir. How are you doing? I thought you come to join the presentation. Okay, so the seven projects were Wildflower Meadows by the Sri Narayana Guru Mission UK. Did I pronounce that almost right? Thank you, Doctor. We've got the Catherine Road Community Garden, drug curtailment and support for the ethnic minorities, young talent, health and mental well-being, corners of beauties, and improvements to Priory Park. So those are the 7 projects that were voted on. And we're going to hear from each of those projects to give you an update on how they've been progressing. I must say right at the beginning here, please do keep your projects to no more than 5 minutes. I know there's one presentation I've seen that's about 25 slides, so I'm not sure. I'm not quite sure how they're going to do that, but I don't want to be rude. I will have to cut you off, so please do keep it to the timing. Hi, Councillor Sabia, great to see you. Okay, so enough talking from me. We're now going to go over to the first project, which is the Wildflower Meadows. And can we give Dr. Saracen a big raise your hand, please?
Thank you, everyone. It's a really nice evening to come here and speak to you all about the project. It's the Wildflower Areas by Sri Narayana Guru Mission of the UK. So I'm representing the charity. I'm not going to talk about a lot of the project, but one thing I want to say is, if everything goes well, this project is about inspiring people. And whoever is in the community, if they want to do something similar, we'll be more than happy that that aim has been achieved. So without further ado, why don't we see the movie?
Hello everyone, my name is Suresh Dharmarajan. I'm the president of Sri Narayana Guru Mission of the UK, a local charity based in the east end of London. Many of you may have heard of the organisation. We're based in 16 Barking Road.
I'm Baiju Santasilan, General Secretary of the Sri Narayana Guru Mission of the UK. I'm basically pleased and honoured that there has been a big turnout for this project launch. So I'm Stephen Timms, I'm the Member of Parliament for East Ham. I'm delighted to see this community project going forward here at Priory Park, an initiative of the Sri Narayana Guru Mission, which I'm a patron, supported by Newham Council. The local councillors are all here, and Cleve School, just next to the park, will be involved as well.
I think the initiative is quite good from the council in collaboration with Sri Narayana Guru Mission. And the good thing about this local area is that we don't have this wildflowers, and it would be fantastic to see such wildflowers in this local.
Yeah, it's been such a nice day, even though it's a little bit cold. It's been really nice to have the community come out here for such a great project that's great for the environment. And yeah, looking forward to coming back in a few months' time to see how it progresses.
It's really fantastic to be here. I wasn't expecting such a big turnout. This is the Community Assemblies funded project, which has been absolutely fantastic. And hopefully the pigeons don't get to the seats.
Today we planted seeds in the Priory Park.
Yeah, I'm from the Henry D. Socials, and to have these greening project and to support the wildlife here in Priory Park is really a good project.
It's really nice to come out here and help the local community with everything, and how it's just like how everyone's here to help around, and it's really nice and refreshing. Yeah, refreshing as well. Okay, thank you.
My name's Saeed. I'm the area manager for Plastone Green Street.
Hi, my name's Celia, and I'm the working group member.
So we're here today to support SNGM with their Wildflower Community Assembly project. Wow, that was amazing. It was actually like a feature film, that one. You know, when it said it was a movie, it wasn't lying. But seriously, that was we've been supporting the Dr. Charles's SNGM group for since the start of the assembly, and I've got to say it's been a pleasure to work with, and also to have your support. This is your project, and they are really looking forward to involving the wider community. They worked very closely with Cleve School on a wet, last week it was a wet, windy, 60 kids came out just to support the project, so amazing. Okay, so depending on time, we'll see how we get on. There might be some opportunity to ask questions to the group leads, so do try and take a note through, make a note on your post-it notes as we go through it. If we get time, we'll come back. Okay, so we're going to move on to the next presentation, which is, let's have a look. Okay, so I'm going to ask Catherine Road Community Centre and the Filipino Social Group to come forward, please.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Danny Elson, the team leader of our Filipino Social. Yeah, I'm the team leader of the Filipino Social Club, and we Filipinos, we use this center for over 9 years to keep fit. And as a gratitude, we applied to develop the back garden. And now we have Catherine Road Community Center Garden Development Project awarded 20,000K.
I'm Mary. I'm one of the members of Filipino Social Club. Our aim is of our project in Catherine Road Community Center is to encourage other groups using the center to participate in growing fruits, herbs, and vegetables in the raised beds and planters. We have 4 raised beds in total, and to encourage local people to socialize with other groups and to promote health and well-being. And thank you for our contractor, Jojo Aguilar and his team, and making the effort to finish the project ASAP, even though the weather has been bad. Thank you all for coming to this assembly.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Juliet, and I'm one of the members of the East London Filipino Social Club. If we may recall last time during the assembly, we promised that we will deliver and hopefully finish our project, which obviously cost us a lot, which is 20,000K, which is good enough for us to start with. And so, with the help of our dedicated leader, Deli Elsom, the staff of the Catherine Road Community Center, the hardworking members of the Filipino Social Club, and of course, Jojo Aguilar, we already have started our project. And so I'm pleased to update you of the progress that we've done so far. On the 7th of November, 2022, the clearing and cleaning by the East London Filipino Social Club started. And so on the 26th of November 2022, we carried out community communication with service users, local residents, and volunteers. and followed by the contractor appointed, which is Jojo Aguilar, on the 31st of January 2023. Then the survey started. Every time we go and do some work, survey comes along. And on the 14th of February 2023, the work started. We prepared the grounds, laying new decking area, planting olive trees, bay leaf tree, and a variety of plants, benches and shed assembled. So I am pleased to inform you that we have successfully finished the garden. Yay! And waiting for the crops to grow. And now we have made our promise that we will deliver our job and on behalf of the Catherine Road Community Center to prepare the garden by the spring. Thank you.
I am Lydia Magtulchol. I'm one of the member of the Filipino Social Club. I want to speak about the end result if project is complete. Wow. Local residents and visitors to the center have now lovely outdoor space where they can relax, socialize, or get additional exercise whilst gardening. This is a very good idea. Thank you.
Good evening, I'm Myrna. I'm also obviously one of the members of the project. The project will increase the provision of green spaces in the local area. The community garden will be open to local residents, groups, and service users to utilize the created garden planters, be introduced to gardening, and be a relaxing space for residents to meet their neighbors. It's really beautifully done. Yeah. Congratulations to Jojo. Thank
you. That's fantastic. So during the week, do pop in to the community centre and have a look at it. So it's fantastic. So as I mentioned, in the spring period, when everything is starting to blossom and the flowers are coming out, it'd be great to go and have a look at. And one of the sustainability factors for this project, which they mentioned right at the beginning, is getting community groups involved in the beds, maybe looking to adopt the beds. The Stroke Club previously looked after the garden, so they're now working with the Stroke Club and other organisations to keep that garden going. And it was actually lucky that we didn't get the whole group to come and speak, because about 50 members. So you did well, so thank you. Okay, so we're going to move swiftly on to the next project. And Rosina, I'd like to ask your group to come forward. And Ilyas, are you coming up forward? Great, so a round of applause for Rosina.
Hi, thank you, everyone. I'm sorry, I have a very sore throat, not feeling very well today. Asked my colleague to come, and he's not here, but I will talk you through the project and what we've done so far. So unlike the previous two projects, we don't have a beautiful garden and flowers to show, but what we have done is we've reached out to the community, especially the ethnic minority families that have been struggling in silence with problems relating to having a drug user, addiction abuser within the house. Everybody who's in the area knows that drugs is a huge problem. It adds to antisocial behavior, domestic violence, theft, robbery, and it just grows. And the problem with ethnic minority families, there's cultural barriers. Families can't reach out for help in fear of stigmatization, in fear of judgment, of exclusion. So we've had a problem with our project in creating awareness on the streets. Initially, we did go out on the streets creating awareness, but people were reluctant to speak to us. Going through virtual WhatsApp groups and going online and virtually reaching out to people has created a lot more families being able to speak to us. Currently, we're supporting over 31 families. And out of these families, thank you. Out of these families, they're very reluctant to move and get the professionals and expert support they need from statutory services. Currently, we have 2 families that are in that position who are willing to reach out to statutory services. Hopefully, it will continue this project even after the deadline. There is no deadline for overcoming addiction support, and we will continue to help all the families to reach out to us. I know Save did give me a warning on 5 minutes. Have I not reached 5 minutes?
You got a couple of minutes.
I've got a couple of minutes. So that one of the hurdles that we have had is reaching out to people. But the families that have been able to come to us, we've been able to support them with one-to-one support, get them help through group support. We've actually hosted a few focus groups where people have been able to speak about their individual circumstances with no judgment. They can have their cameras off, they can leave their names out, so it's all been confidential. And I'll leave you there, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Rosina. Okay, I know actually Natalie went to visit the organisation as part of a walkabout, and very impressed with the service you have to offer. So that's brilliant. Again, please do make a note of any questions you have for each of these projects. It's really important because sometimes it's quite difficult to get hold of groups once they've left the centre. So please do make some notes. So the next project to come forward is Youth Talent Show, and that's Mohan.
Hi everyone, my name is Mohan. I'm the project lead for Youth Talent. So the process has been up and down, trying to get the word out, looking for venues and things like that. We've made some good progress, so we've been able to get people quite interested, young people who have applied, and we've got some really talented people in the area that are going to perform. So I guess here, I'm really here to advertise the event. So the event will be happening, it's a free event, fun event for families. It will be in Applecart, so where Plashett Park is a lovely new cafe that's opened recently. They've got a theatre at the back. So please do come, get the word out. If anyone still wants to apply or knows of anybody that wants to apply, it's between the age of 12 and 17. There's a good cash prize. So please do get the word out. But it's been a journey. We've been liaising with marketing people, young people, and everyone's very excited for the event. So you're all welcome. Thank you.
Great. So, just to go back, the date of the event is the 29th of April. Okay. So in terms of the talent show, I know Jobrel said he wanted to go for it. Any councillors? Do they qualify? Yeah. So we want, after today, lots of people, and Jobrel does have a couple of hidden talents. Okay, so the next project. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to come back to Corners of Beauty at the end, because we're just going to come back to that one at the end, if that's okay. Okay, we're going to come back to that project. Yep, so Maya wants to say it.
I guess a lot of people will be asking the question, and I've clearly not mentioned it, but yeah, it's on 29th of April, but once there are a few details that need ironing. When that's done, there will be posters out for more details of time and location and things like that. Or location is, but time, yeah.
Thank you.
No, it's free. It's free. Everyone come.
Thank you.
Great. Okay. So in terms of the next project, so this next project is about the improvement of Priory Park. So who's used the park before? Who's been to the park before? Don't be shy. Great, okay. Have I got a little, is that a note for me? Okay, I've been given a note. Okay, we're going to come back to that one in a second, okay? Right, I had a very interesting question being asked there. Okay, so in terms of Priory Park, so your working group members, again, if you working group members, just raise your hands. So your working group members put through an application, a bid to improve Priory Park. And in the bid was to look at improvements to the children's play area, look at refurbishing the swings, the notice boards are in disrepair, the railings need painting, there's no signage. So there's lots of things that need to be improved in that local park. And again, this is the park that the SNGM were doing the wildflower meadow and from last year's project as well. So in terms of what the update is for the park is that the notice boards have been So the notice boards have been ordered and they should be installed in the next 6 to 8 weeks. Community payback. Does anyone heard of community payback? Yeah, so these are young individuals who are doing some community service. So the council work with community payback to bring them in to put some positive work into the local area. So community payback have agreed to paint the railings around the children's play area. The zip wire has actually just this week has been serviced to look to see how they're going to put that back into play. Unfortunately, the swing that is in the park at the moment, the actual frame is damaged. So that whole thing needs to be replaced and will not fit within this particular funding stream. And the signage will be installed as well, which is all part of the process. So can we just let people come in, please, because there's too many people walking in and out. Thank you. Okay, so in terms of Priory Park, there is our parks team have put in a capital bid. So what that means is they put in a bid to the council to say that they would like to regenerate and invest lots of money into the local park. So Priory Park is on the priority list. So a lot of these ideas and initiatives could be put forward, and any money that is left over from this fund will be reinvested into the park. Any questions about the Priory Park project? Okay, you can save those to the end if you do have any.
Why isn't the council doing it anyway?
Absolutely.
Why are we then using £20,000, which is community building, which is not to rebuild what's been broken, dilapidated through underinvestment? £20,000 is not to replace underinvestment and bad management. It's there as a community fund. That's from the YouGov report, not the council, YouGov. They've been instructed. So I don't understand why a lot of these projects are coming out at 20,000. I mean, we need more mental health care. I mean, these ladies, what they're doing with the drug, absolutely top notch. I'm behind that all the way. That 20,000 what they get is never going to be enough. They need more.
Absolutely.
And they need council support. So,
absolutely. No, I completely hear you.
Because I've followed these meetings for a lot, I don't know, since they first started. And my beard's going great. So all I'm trying to tell you is I've never seen an organic grown project that's lasted this time, because the council never funded beyond this little growth of the first sprout of the flowers. After that, the bed's dying. So I just want to see long-term investment, and I want to concentrate on youth, the elderly, and mental health care.
I completely hear and totally understand that. So what we'll do, so we're going to... Okay, so what we'll do, okay, sorry sir. So what we'll do, I think you raised some excellent points, absolutely excellent points.
Every time I raise that and other people raise that, mental health care is on the increase. We've had 2 years of COVID. And we've got people locked up in their houses, old people dying in their houses.
I think that the points you make are extremely valid. We've actually got, I'm sure, we'll come back. We'll come, go on then. Go on.
I want to say that thank you so much for the presentation. We need more projects. As you know, we have lack of projects. So if you can please.
No, you need more investment and proper management from our council.
Okay, so what we'll do, we'll take this conversation, we're going to have a conversation with you, but this raises the point, the exact points that this gentleman was raising. We are now going to go for the next assembly. We've got a new round of identifying what those key priorities are for the Green Street neighbourhood. So what you need to do is come to the next assembly, which is in May, highlight what the concerns are for you as individuals in this neighbourhood, and look at how organisations, groups can take benefit from this investment that's been taken forward. That what you're talking about leads into one of the projects that for Hope for Humanity are addressing around health and mental well-being. But we'll hear from them in just a moment. So thank you for raising your question, sir. Okay. Okay. Actually, we're gonna speak to you after, sir. Okay. Yeah. Absolutely. We have our councillors here as well, so we'll hopefully be able to. Okay, so now I'm going to hand you over to our next project. As I mentioned before, I think you've got 25 slides. So we'll keep it to 5 minutes if that's okay. So this is for Hope for Humanity.
Thank you so much. Hello everyone, I'm Faisal, and we are actually just talking about health and mental well-being project. So we actually address all the areas, like first, like what about the mental health being, also about women safety, another thing like we train the women. Can you just, yeah. The philosophy behind the project is that find the real issue and address them in the simplest and the most effective method and do something which has everlasting effect. So like this project will be not finished with this one, but we just seeding the idea how we can go further with our other ideas and things. What we done in this one, we done with the martial art, yoga, walk with the park, and we cut our project into 4 simple ways. First, we teach the women and children about from our local teachers who teach them how to defend themselves. And there was a proper classes every week. It was like every Saturday they were coming. And self-defense is not only our right, it is our duty. And in this neighborhood, women should learn these type of things, and the children. Yeah. What are the benefits? These are some benefits. Next slide, please. Yeah. Next slide. So, yeah. Pictures are speaking for themselves. So, and there are also, once you are starting with for mental health being, we do some yoga sessions as well. And these yoga sessions are still available online as well, because people can go through and watch them. And we get the instructor from our local community as well. That was our priority, like by the community, for the community. So, yeah, I think. And then we do another thing, a health check, like we do the BMI on our in our sessions. Like when women start, what was their BMI, and how for BMI is like what should be your weight and height. And so it was like we test in the first week, and after some weeks we check them, and it was really group improvement, and they are learning about their health and safety as well. Next. Yeah, walk with purpose. Everybody like to go to the park, but we think when children's becoming like 12, 13-year-old, they said park is no good for us. Like they are just child swings and stuff like that. And why we go there if there's, so can move more slide, please. Yeah. So yeah. Rescue the park, it was another thing. When we are going, these groups going for yoga session or the martial arts session in the parks, we help the park like by cleaning, teaching the children how to behave in the park, because why it's important for us. Next slide. And this is like why a clean park are benefits of a clean park. Yeah, that thing. Tag the trees. We also develop by myself. I'm a software engineer. So we develop an idea. This is a seed. Like what we do, we put some tagging, which we call tag the trees. In Prairie Park, we just testing this thing for some days. Like we put a barcode for every tree, and this will involve those children like which are not people or children which are not getting something and they want mobiles and stuff like that. So they can also be involved in the park. If they go and getting something scanned and getting how many oxygen this tree is given, what is the footstep you give. Also, this thing can be a security feature. If somebody goes there, scan it, they can mark their location, so you can find their last location and things like other things security related. Okay, recycle awareness campaign. Those participant people which were coming to us, we teach them how to deal with the recycle stuff, like why recycling is important, why we do that, how we do that, by the help of an organization which work with us, and they teach even the children the best ways how to do the things, like make the things interested and make them responsible. Next slide. Next slide. Yeah, another thing here, I'm asking everyone, you can visit our website and you can come to us if you have any other idea to improve our idea, enhance our idea. If you have, and so you can visit hopeforhumanity.org.uk. So you can find more if you want to work with us, especially the young people. Thank you so much.
Fantastic. So you actually did really well. Did really well to go through all those slides in that time. Okay, so any questions for that particular project?
It's 19,000. Yeah, near to the 20.
Any other questions? So we've got a question at the back. So Jobble, do you have a mic at the back there for Jojo?
Yeah, well done.
So Jojo said that he really likes the idea of the tree tagging. So just a bit of information. Thank you very much for that.
We just have a couple of questions from online, if that's okay.
Yes, please do. Please go ahead.
Is it okay for people to access on an ongoing basis? And are there online health Zoom session available?
Sorry, can you repeat the question, please?
Yeah. The first question is it possible to access the support on an ongoing basis? So for people who haven't signed up yet?
Yeah, they can still sign up. We already on our website. If you go to our website, hopeforhumanity.org.uk, you will find a form. You can fill it. Even our WhatsApp is there. You can directly WhatsApp us for the information.
Great, thank you.
No problem. Thank you.
So there's lots and lots of information that's been shared with you today. Presentations and videos. We've got one more presentation to hear from Denise, and she's online. So what I'm going to do is just to let you all know that the presentations, the videos, all this information will be posted on the Co-Create platform. Those who would like to access a hard copy of any of the information, if you pop into your library or your community centre, we will get that out to you. Okay, so everything we mentioned today will be uploaded onto the platform and the website. So Kishore, we've got a question. So we're just going to get a mic to you so everybody can hear. So Job was just taking one over to you.
Yeah, it's a general question. Thanks so much for this. I think I might have missed a couple of events in between this, but I normally go to the East Ham one, and I can't make the East Ham one, so I'm here. It's great to see all these projects, but I was thinking about the long term. this is only funding for 1 year. What would be really good is to say how they're going to make sure that it's going to be sustainable after that 1 year. So I think we need to, as part of the community, group, why not? Because you don't want it one off, yeah. So I think we need to include how are you going to make sure it's the longevity of that project remains, because some of these things here, and certain bits, quite a lot of fragmented things, and I think not all of them would work. Some of them work, some of them wouldn't work, and we want to make sure that those that work, the budget gets targeted to what works. So thanks much, Sai, for that.
Thank you for sure. And again, a really, really good question, and a comment actually. So first of all, Kishore, I'm going to say you need to come to Green Street. Yeah, not East Ham, Green Street. Yeah, so you need to come here for the next one in May. In terms of sustainability, yes, absolutely. I think this has been raised throughout the whole evaluation. So in the application form for this round, we are looking at how these projects are going to be sustainable going forward. And absolutely, and around the legacy. I think, Tariq, we had a question at the back there. Tariq, did you put your hand up for a question? So we just wait for the mic to come to you.
Hi, so I'm just going to answer your responses. Kishore, I think one of the stuff we've been looking towards as community assembly members is how we can bring all those projects together. So in the future, we're looking to link all of them together so we can create a bigger kind of community aspect. So at the moment, like I say, it's quite fragmented. So the idea is for the next assemblies, linking back all those communities, doing great things, so we can build a much bigger aspect of that. So that's the idea that going forward we're going to do.
Just on that, I was going to say the funding bit that does stop. So
Yeah.
we need to consider how to do that.
No, absolutely.
Right, some lovely, some really, really insightful questions there. Thank you very much for that. Okay, so I'm going to ask, I believe it's the last project, and we've got Denise. Denise, do we have you online?
Yep, I'm here.
Hi, Denise. Welcome to the assembly. So I'm going to hand it over to you.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Denise, and hi everyone. I, with the support of my son, who did some filming and his amazing editing skills, I brought forward a bid for a small project to inject some nature into my little part of the world. And it's called Corners of Beauty, and it is to benefit the community. So I'm going to start by saying a big thank you for everyone that supported the project and helped it to get where it has got. So it was the installation of 2 raised flower beds at the junction of Sherard Road and Catherine Road. And just starting the drive to bring beauty back to the road, repurpose the area, and just change people's behaviours. The site is just constantly being like food being thrown on the floor, pasta, rice, loaves of bread, everything. So it was not nice. Pest infestation, children having to walk past it. There's a school, not too far away. So that's what kind of inspired me to go ahead and make a bid. So in July, made the bid, presented the video. In September 22, the project was successful and received the sufficient votes. In November, Saeed and Shez came to visit the site to kickstart the process. So next slide, please. Okay, so there was a little bit of a gap. The plans were drawn up in December, and we got the quote in February this year. The initial quote was for 2,110, which was under what we had expected. Then in March, the quote was revised. So, the plans came through. The overall total was 1,785. So there is a bit left over to do some additional work with signage. So, from kind of, you know, it seemed like everything was going slow. Then March, it was just like, here's the quote, here are the planters done. So the planters were installed. And for me, it just brings a smile to my face every time I walk past there. As you can see, our pigeons are still there. There's still some work to be done with the resin around that area so it can be cleaned up, you know, when food and stuff is dropped there. And then there's the buy-in from the residents around, like the shops. I'm like, okay, we have these planters here. Please help me to look after them. And it is helping us to kind of just work together. It's not something that the council has just plopped there and that's it. It's like, no, this is something that, you know, I had a say in, something that makes me passionate, you know, and something that we can all look after together. Next slide, please. Yeah, so it does feed into the local priorities, the green spaces. I think it's nature is a must. Nature is a must for our well-being, our mental health. And I think it's just good to let people know that, you know, Catherine Road is not an area that we don't care about. Yes, we care about it and we're investing in it. And I think that's really important. That particular site, I mean, I've lived here for a while and there were always accidents and so forth. And I just think, you know, changing it up a bit will help. It will help slow down traffic. It will just give the area a different vibe. And again, to help with the cleaner environment, just changing behaviours. The signs don't work, you know, please don't, you know, feed pigeons or drop food on it doesn't work. So if we can just, you know, just change the way people see the area, maybe that will encourage more positive behaviour. Again, thank you all for supporting the project. And Jobril, thank you for your patience with me and my outstanding ability to miss every single day.
Thank you very much for that, Denise. So, do you have any questions for this project? Emily, do you have anything online?
No, that's okay. I'll just enter them in chat.
Right, and just some of these questions around about sustainability and maintenance. Every project lead has agreed to look after their projects around, if we're talking about infrastructure, talking about planters, talking about gardening, there is an agreement as part of the whole process that they need to maintain it for at least up to 1 year, and looking to take that even more forward. So, okay, so that's all. Have I missed any projects? I think we've gone through all 7, haven't we? Any projects that we've missed? No? So let's give, got this young gentleman, young man at the front, who's dying to ask questions. In the break, I'll answer your question. In terms of any more updates, so no, that's great. So let's give everybody a round of applause, all the projects, all the project leads. That's great. We've had a number of interesting questions that have been raised, so we'll be speaking with our colleagues and our councillors, and we'll definitely have a conversation with yourself, sir. Okay? So, in terms of the next process, so if you can just bring up the next slide for us, please. So now we're going to hear from you around the table. So we've got table facilitators. So table facilitators, just come forward so we know who the table facilitators are. And I think Councillor Larissa, you're a table facilitator, and Shiraz. Okay. So what we're going to be doing now is asking each of you around your table for the next 20 minutes to look at all the projects that have been identified, those projects that have been selected and delivered, and to ask you what your thoughts, your opinions, how they've impacted you, do you know about them, how you would like to get involved. So your table facilitators will guide you through that process, and you've got 20 minutes. Following that, we're going to have a very short exercise after that to talk to you about each of the projects, what has improved over the last 3 years under those 3 priority areas. Okay, but your table facilitators will explain that all to you. Okay.
Also, there's another table in the other room. For people that have not seen that table, if you can go to the other room, my colleague Fatima will lead you in there, so there's a bit more space.
Great. And online, we've got Emily online who will be facilitating the online discussion. So we'll have 20 to 25 minutes and then we'll bring you back to the room. So thank you all very much and enjoy the next session. Thank you. we're going to do with today's information. Did you hear that? This meeting is being recorded. Okay, so what we're going to be doing on your tables, all the information that you've written down and our table facilitators have collected, we're going to bring that all together and publish all the feedback and the comments onto the Co-Create platform, but also we will share this information via your library and your community centres. Okay, so just to say, if we can just focus at the front, please, now. We can continue the conversations in a little while. So, in terms of the community assembly, we've got a team who have been evaluating the process. They've been going around having conversations, running focus groups to get some feedback from each and every one of our different needs. Right, sorry, can I... Sorry, some of the housekeeping would be, if people are speaking, if we can just focus on them, please. Thank you. That's great, thank you. So what we have done over the last few months is evaluating the process. Next slide, please. So here's some of the information that has been gathered from the evaluation of how this community assembly has been going. So more people from all communities need to hear about the assembly. So that's what you said. And what we will do is we will refresh the types of communication that is going out using digital platforms, using more outreach work, more face-to-face work, working closer with the grassroots organizations, working with those underrepresented groups to make sure that we promote and publicize that information. Okay, community assemblies need to be more accessible for all. So what we will be doing is we'll be continuing the hybrid assemblies. We'll improve the way in which the platform is being used and also the voting system. We'll do some more in-person voting systems. I think this is a really key one that has come up through the evaluation forms, is you're saying that the assembly is too short. The cycle, the 1 year cycle is too short. So what has happened with our colleagues and our leaders been looking at different ways in which this assembly is distributed. So it's going to be extended to 2 years, to a 2 year assembly. So in the first year, it will all be about the permissions, we'll be looking at the processes, looking at the costings, and in the second year, it will be about the delivery of that program. And what you would like to know is £200,000 for the cycle and not the 100,000 as previously mentioned. More support is needed for residents and local organisations leading on the projects. So with the 2 year cycle, there will be specific clinics where you can go and speak to the particular specialists. So for example, in our highways teams, in our parks team, in our planning teams. So having a conversation about your particular project and identifying some of the challenges, some of the barriers, and how to overcome those. But this lovely chart here, okay, there's lots of information, yeah? So lots of information. So what we will be doing is, again, we'll be sharing all of this information out. But if we have a look here, the new cycle, the next assembly will be in May. So it's really important that you all come back in May, because this is where we will be looking at what the new priorities are. A number of you have raised really important queries and questions earlier, but if you do not come to the assembly, if you don't use the platform, if you don't get involved, that bit of information won't be transferred through. Okay, so please do come in May and identify and highlight what your priorities are. In June, July, this is where we'll look at what those general ideas are under those priorities. And in all through August, June through to August, we'll start to receive the project applications. And then in the October assembly, this is where we're going to have the in-person and presentations by those particular groups. And then in the second year, it will be all about the implementation of the projects, the implementation and the learning of the projects. Okay, again, there's lots of information here. We're going to be circulating that information out. Okay, so if you wanted to find more about how this cycle has been, what the feedback is, there's some written documentation. Again, the evaluation report is online. But again, if you wanted to get a hard copy and you want to see that, please come to the library, come to the community centre, speak to the neighbourhood staff. And that's where you'll get the information from. So I mentioned earlier your working group members. It's really important. Look, the working group members are individuals who are local residents. They've got a vested interest in the area, have a passion for the area, and they've been really, really important. We are looking to recruit more working group members for this cycle. It's really, really important. So what we will be doing is the actual recruitment and the information went out earlier on the, let's go to the next slide. I can't remember the date off the top of my head. So it came out on the 6th of March and closes on the 2nd of April. Okay? We've got the application. So we've got some flyers on your desk. We've got some application forms. You've got your working group members here today, and a couple of them will be coming forward to speak. But please do ask them about questions about working group members. We really want to get more working group members involved in the process. So I'm going to ask a couple of our working group members if they'd like to come forward and say a few words. So, Celia, okay? Shiraz, you want to come forward as well? Come forward. Okay, so let's give them a round of applause. And Tarek, you coming? Okay.
Hi everyone, thank you very much.
So hello, I'm Celia Wayne-Heapy. I've been one of the working members of Green Street Ward for the past 2 years. I became involved because I wanted to look at the sustainability side of projects. I'm from a local community climate change education group called Climate You Change. So having this opportunity to be a working group member has enabled me to discuss certain aspects of the projects with the other members alongside Saeed, Andrew and Jobril. The highlights of me have included working together to ensure that projects create value and leave a legacy. It has been great to see projects leaving long-lasting physical infrastructure and community wealth building through the sharing of knowledge and seeing residents build new connections. It has also been lovely to have regular meetings with a really good group of people. Being a working group member has allowed me to understand more of how the council works and how it is possible for residents to work together with our local council. For anyone who has ever complained that the council aren't doing X, it can be helpful to get more understanding of budgetary constraints, health and safety, and different practical aspects of their work. It can help us as residents form reasonable expectations of what we would like to see, understand what can be possible, and how we might contribute to affect the change which matters to us. I would very much encourage other residents to come forward and become working group members. You can join other people who would like to play an active role in their communities and who would like to make a difference. I will be around if anyone would like to speak to me during the rest of the event or after. Thank you.
Hi everyone, it's me Shiraz. Hi everybody online as well. Hi, basically it's been a journey. I've been a working group member for many years now. When I did it, I had to do it for free because I started off as my main concern is community safety. I'm with the police, the neighborhood watch, and all of that stuff in Green Street, East Helena Road, is which I cover. So community safety is my thing. That's why I joined. And one of the successful projects that I led, and I was it was I didn't get paid anything for it. But what it was we started the community ambassador program, which at that time was a different team, and because the COVID happened and I wasn't able to do my big launch, but it's still there, and it's about safety, community safety. Now, first of all, I'd like to thank everybody who actually puts in applications, because without those applications coming in, like the gentleman said who was sitting over there about why did we do the Priory Park project, that only came because not enough projects came through and many projects did not pass the criteria, which obviously every year changes when you give your input, and then we put more criteria in to make it more difficult to pass or scrutinize, or so for example, if we want legacy and things, well, that legacy is one of the things that so project continues that we're going to have going next cycle. One of the criteria that we've asked to go through. Now, I would like to also thank you, all the brilliant team here, without Said and Jabril and all of these, and we had Zach and Fatou. Thank you all to those teams that always, are holding our hands and making sure that we don't, mess about or, lose out, if you like. And I would like to also thank you, everybody, local councillors for their support, and thank you so much. Without your support, you actually give us some more support, because actually we're not councillors. So when we see your presence here, we get that extra confidence to go through. And I would like to praise, all the people here who are project leads. Every project lead, well done. The Filipino group, well done for doing that project. That was perfect, excellent. That was such a big thing, and you achieved that. You made the difference, and that's why we need more people to come through. And what Mr. Haycock for Humanities achieved, what the drug trail achieved, I was skeptical about that. I did pass you by the spectacle, and I'm not sure, but the fact that you're helping 30 families, that is a big thing. But one of the most ones I would like to say, but sorry, Jabril, is Maham. I would like to say well done, because to begin with, she only asked for 700, although every individual is over 5,000. But she's asked for 750, and it didn't go through. We said no, because she didn't have the certifications. She went out, she actually got the certificates done, everything that we needed, she provided. So it's all about that, and it's all about delivering to the community. And I would want more working group members, please. We need all diverse working group members so that we can get things delivered. By being a working group member, you can see projects actually see them delivered and actually developing what you want, what you want to see, and instead of the council using that money towards what they want. So please do those applications. You can next door. You can go to your local library, see Jabril or Said, and get those applications through, because it's something you can make a difference, and that's now. So please join us and become a working member, and if not, and please apply. Thank you so much. God bless you all. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, Shiraz. And okay, do you know, after that, why wouldn't you
Say,
yeah, that's fine.
one more
One second. Why wouldn't you want to be a working group member? Okay, so we've got Tariq at the back, who's another one of our working group members.
I was going to say, I think as a resident, the reason why I joined was about the legacy for the future generation. So I think it's really important that you kind of come in and participate, because the more that we create community projects like that, it brings the connection and the community together, so we can create better for the kind of neighborhood that we're living in. Thank you. On top of what Celia and Shiraz said. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Tariq. We've got some working group members online. I'm not sure if anybody online would like to say a few words, but if not, no? Okay. But thank you very much, working group members. You're doing an amazing job, and you're actually helping to shape the way in which these assemblies are going forward. So thank you very much. Okay, so we're almost coming to the very end of the assembly now. And I'd just like to say, at the we held an assembly in Plaster last week, and we had one of our councillors who was online. Councillor McLean was online. 10 minutes later, we went into the breakout room, and I saw her in the assembly. So if that's not a superwoman, I don't know what is. So Councillor McLean, if you'd like to say a few words, please.
Hi, Said. Hello, everybody. Yeah, no, I'm at home today. I had a complete hybrid experience this evening. I didn't manage to come to Caffrine Road today because there's a teacher strike. So it's been an interesting day. But I just wanted to take this opportunity to thank everybody for coming along this evening. It's been really inspirational hearing the different projects that were submitted for Green Street and hearing about the progress. I especially liked the project on Caffrine Road with the planters, just because it just goes to show that actually, you know, an individual identified a problem and and came up with a solution. So, you know, please join the working group. It was really great hearing from the working group members, and I even particularly would be interested in signing up now, because they definitely sold it. To me, it was great. So we always need more people, more diverse, you know, groupings by ages, you know, culture, etc., etc. So yeah, please get involved. As Saeed mentioned, next time around, it's a 2-year cycle, so it gives more time for people to come up with projects. We did have some really interesting discussions online, and there were some ideas of not so much as projects, but problems. So, you know, those online that are listening to me, just take some time just to think of a potential project, of a way to solve some of the problems that you've encountered. You know, join up with your neighbours and just see how you can possibly take something forward as an individual, or if you want to join up with a group. Also, Saeed mentioned that next time around there's more money, so there's 200,000 for each neighbourhood, so there's 200,000 for Green Street. So there's plenty of money to come up with plenty of projects, individuals, groups. Just get involved and try and make a difference in your neighbourhood. I just wanted to also point out that the money for the community assemblies is from the community infrastructure levy, which is easy for me to say, the neighbourhood element of that. So it can only be used for specific things to help with the community infrastructure within the local area. I'm sure that on Co-Create it gives further details exactly what that's about. So it's not about replacing council services. It's specifically for, you know, community to put forward projects to make a difference in the area. Last thing for me, I just wanted to thank the residents for coming, for the working group members, the officers, IT, and especially for the resident engagement team within the neighbourhoods, but also Emily, Sadia and Chris for all of their hard work on this. And I'm looking forward to the next cycle of community assemblies. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much for that, Councillor. I believe there's another councillor who would like to say a few words.
Is that better? Hi, yes, I'm Councillor Sabia. I'm Councillor for Stratford, and I'm also in the Cabinet for Resident Engagement Experience. And I mean, this is the heart of Newham. You've got the diversity, amazing project, and these assemblies are really important because it has people from the community doing projects that actually affects residents, and nothing is more endearing than having residents do something that they could benefit and could also leave a legacy. So thank you so much, and I hope to see more brilliant projects. Thank you.
Okay, so just before we leave, we've come to the end of the assembly. What I would like you to do is there's an evaluation form on the table, again, with all these events. If you don't put your comments, you don't put your ideas down, we can't improve the way in which we do these things. And one last thing, you've seen the reflection wall here. Please do add your comments to the wall of reflection. And before you go, I think Jogul had something that someone wants to mention.
Yeah, one of the project leads wants to make a quick comment.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I put it down to my poor health. I forgot to mention earlier, on the 7th of June, we will be having a symposium, a one-day conference from 10 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. at the University of East London. We're going to have 3 panels there. The first is the introduction to the GLEAS, how we came through the Community Assemblies project, how it works, and how we're benefiting the community. The second panel later in the morning will be what are the problems that we found. The drug services, law enforcement and academics will all be on a panel. And the final panel in the afternoon will be the narrative. What are we going to do about the problem? It's great having all these projects, but if there's no long-term solution, then it becomes a bit pointless. And on our panel, we have the early intervention healthcare team, families that have gone through lived experience,
healthcare, drug services, and we may have a couple of other academics speaking as well. We'd like to invite you all. The posters and everything will not be ready till the end of April. We will pass them on to Saib, and hopefully he can share them with all of you, and look forward to seeing you there. Thank you.
Thank you. That's great. Okay, so I'm not going to go over what Councillor McLean said in terms of all the thank yous, because these events take a lot of organising. So thank you everyone, to the whole team of councillors. Thank you all for coming today, and we will see you in May. Have a safe journey home, and everybody online, thank you for joining, and we'll see you again in May. Take care now.